Greetings to you all. I'm Buhle Hlachwayo and a warm welcome to Saisi Joburg TV. We're here once again at the Saisi House in Midrand to attend today's lecture, which will be focusing on the evolution of predominantly black townships as well as the emergence of RDP houses. Now, today's lecture will be headed by Managing Director and shareholder of Lekwa Consulting Engineers, Mr. Ntshumaelo. Let's see what he's got in store for us today.
We would be looking at housing development in Gauteng, in Johannesburg in particular, as a case in point. The lessons that we're going to talk about here are applicable throughout the country, and some of the challenges that we're facing today, you would appreciate that they didn't start today. They've been there throughout the years.
I'm joined right here by Mr. Ntshumaelo, who is a Managing Director and shareholder of Lekwa Consulting Engineers. Mr. Ntshumaelo, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for welcoming me.
All right, so I want to take it back to your lecture, which we just had earlier on. You touched on briefly on the history of South Africa, which I think none of us expected. We didn't, and we didn't know that it would relate to town planning so much and what housing development looks like right now. How does it play a role in town planning and when it comes to housing developments for the predominantly black townships?
Sure, thanks so much for the opportunity. The town planning is actually the essence or the backbone of how our townships are rolled out or have been rolled out in the past. So what we call spatial transformation needs to happen to ensure that we have integration of the towns and the townships to make sure that people don't travel far distances to get to the place of work or places where they can do their shopping or interact with other people in the communities.
And I see in the presentation you also touched on one of the housing projects that was implemented during post-apartheid, which was RDP. And you also pointed out the challenges of a particular project like that, such as corruption, granting problems, service problems, to name a few. What is it that Lekwa is doing that is different to RDP when it comes to the current housing developments that you guys are currently busy with?
We have actually been in the industry for a long time. We've actually been in the industry for 15 years. Within the housing sector, we've done this work for 10 years. We've learned a lot of lessons on how to roll out and execute projects. So what we've found is to understand the communities that we work with, understand how they receive the products or the services or the engineering services that we give them, and how those services impact on their lives. Once we have that first understanding on people's day-to-day lives, then you are able to respond positively with designs or products that are functional to their day-to-day lives. So what we do is engagements starting with the end in mind, and then when you do our designs and conceptualizing projects. So it's very important that we understand the end users and we understand from technical perspective what is it that we need to do to respond to the needs that the communities have out there.
I'm joined here by Mr. Smith, who is the director and shareholder at Lekwa Consulting Engineers. Just going back to the lecture once again, there were terms that were thrown as well, such as the multidisciplinary approach as well as the catalytic/mega projects approach. What are the differences between the two approaches when it comes to town planning?
You see, traditionally these projects were done sometimes with independent professionals, where and the specific good example is the coexistence of the engineer and the town planner, where the town planner definitely needs input from the engineer to make sure that the layout and gradients and flows of rainwater and sewerage and water, those things are accommodated in the design, whereas the new mega project, it is built into that, because you work with a project team, with a team of specialists, where all those things can be integrated in a useful and a very comprehensive manner.
And I see, looking at the current housing developments that Lekwa is busy with at the moment, I see there's one of them, there's a few residents that have already moved in. What has the feedback been so far from that particular area?
I'm pleased to say that as you could see in the presentation, excellent projects are surfacing. The products of the project, and people are delighted, as the speaker has also said, Mr. Ntshumaelo. People are taking pride. People are greening the area, which is very important to make it a livable and a beautiful area of which people can be proud of, and this is definitely the way to go.